a big believer that every one of us has 10 people that really care about us in our life is sort of the average. So, between grandparents, children, there's about 10 people that really truly care if you're no longer on this planet. So 10 other people. So in my view, 250, 300 lives a summer, we just affected 3,000 people, not just 250 people. Yeah. So to me, if you save one life, if all of this is good for one life, 10 other lives were just affected. Hello, this is U.S. Coast Guard Sector Eastern Great Lakes Commander Captain Mark Kuperman. As we look towards a safe boating season, let's talk today about a few things you can do to make the most of the experience. For the most part, boating is a great recreational activity, but on the water, things can turn from peaceful to disastrous in an instant. Wearing a U.S. Coast Guard approved life jacket is one of the simplest life-saving strategies that you can have as a recreational boater, and knowing when to put it on is just as important. In 2022, by example, the United States had over 4,000 reported boating accidents, of which there were 636 fatalities. And of those fatalities, 75% were due to drowning. Of that number, 85% of those victims were not wearing a life jacket. One of the things you can do to really get yourself prepared is to take a boating safety course. These can be offered through the U.S. Coast Guard Auxiliary or through the Power Squadron. Having the proper safety gear aboard is essential. Having a vessel safety check is important, as well as having a functional fire extinguisher and being able to use your engine cutoff device. While these are just a few items, the emphasis here is on properly ensuring safety for your vessel. Preparing your boat is just as important as preparing yourself. This includes having a fully charged battery, making sure your boat plug is installed, a working fuel gauge, and ensuring you are fueled for your journey. Communicate a float plan to a friend or a loved one before you go out on the water. Be sure to monitor current and future weather conditions before you get on the water. These are essential because the lakes can often have wind and wave states that can change within the hour. Boating on the water is a great opportunity to really enjoy yourself. However, alcohol and boating don't mix. Boat sober. In any given year, almost 20% of boating mishaps involve alcohol. Over 40% of the boating season cases that we had for the U.S. Coast Guard across 2 lakes in 2023 were related to disabled vessels. As you find yourself on the water this summer, you may find there situations where you need to ask for help. In those situations, we would ask you to follow several lines of communication. First and foremost is if you have a radio on board, use your VHF channel 16, where the Coast Guard will be able to hear you. If that doesn't work, we would ask you to contact the Coast Guard Command Center. At the end of this video, we will provide you a direct phone number to the Sector Eastern Great Lakes Command Center who can assist you. Third is if either of those methods don't work, contact 911. When you're contacting either the Coast Guard or 911, or even using your VHF-based radio, there are several questions we're going to ask that are going to help you very quickly. The first is how many people you have on board. The second is the nature of your distress. The third is the location of your vessel. The fourth is the name of your vessel. And the fifth is whether you have life jackets on board, which are key to your survival. Thank you.